So, hi again. For this time, we're going to install the Exad Virtual Garage. So first, as always, we go down here, we check the dependencies. For this, we install core first, and then the Xm8, and those are actually the the videos I made before, how to install. So now we're at the Virtual Garage. So let's see here, we go to the documentation, we go to Virtual Garage, we go for installation. If we check here, it's actually not that many things to do, but for some reason people have various problems with it. Here I state again, install core and Xm8, otherwise it won't work. The Xm8 is, we're using the Xm8 because that's how you actually interact with the virtual garage. And the core is actually extremely needed because that's how you communicate between the server and the clients and some other small functions. So first, place the virtual garage folder within your mission root. This is already done because we installed the whole package before, or not installed the whole package, but we transferred the whole package into the mission root folder. We have now taken this over. We go to CFG functions. Oh. And we just uncomment virtual garage. Make sure here also the core and the Xm8 is uncommented because that's an indication that we actually have installed them before. For the next thing, we go to CFG hints. And that's already done. Don't know if that's a bad thing or a good thing, but it's already done. If you actually get any issues with moving over just parts of the Exad package and something like that jumps up, just comment it out so you can to say that we're not actually going to use the virtual garage and it's complaining that it can't find the file because virtual garage is not there. You just comment it out and it's not going to complain anymore. But since we actually are installing virtual garage now, that's why we want it to be included into the, it's going to be read into the memory. So let's see here. Next thing is that we actually need to overwrite one of Exile's functions, and what this does is that it allows the core to actually read, check in the database for vehicles that are stored within a specific flag or a specific territory. So we just go into the config cpp, custom code, let's see here, config cpp, we search for custom code, and we just add this above or underneath, it doesn't matter, we just need to add it. And that part is done. And now it says in configuration CPP can also add, oh, I need to take this away. This is not implemented anymore, so don't do this. Good idea. Okay, I'm gonna take this away. Modify the mission string table and change the desirable notifications. Yes, you can change that. If I can show this, if you go to the mission root folder, there is a string table here. So if you actually, for example, search for VG, here is the virtual garage package. So everything here is different notifications. Here you get all the notification. You can change this if you want to customize them. I wouldn't change these. This is for the Xm8's different titles and bottom text and yeah, headers and stuff like that. And yeah, that's everything in the Virtual Garage package. So small different things. So this is actually interesting. App details. So for example, in the app detail vehicle details, you can change what appears, and by including here you can see %2 means the vehicle class display name. So here we're gonna we're first gonna say what kind of vehicle it is, and then it's %1. %1 mean new line, then it's gonna jump new line, then we're gonna do pin code, and %3 is the pin code. And for example, here you can just format it however you want. If you, for example, don't want items to be in here, then you just take away items, and yeah, %7 means all the items, and yeah, that would work. Maybe also take away the new line there, or if you want to just add some extra lines. Oh no, don't do that like that. It's like this. This will add 3 lines inside that view. So yeah, you can play around with that if you want to test it out, or if you just want to customize it a little bit. Let's see. Now you can go into customize and change the desirable settings. Yeah. So if you go into Exad clients, virtual garage, you can go into customize, and here you can change how many vehicles you're allowed to have. Yeah, I would actually recommend you to read the descriptions and change to whatever you like. For example, here, if you also want to be able to store tanks, you just do like this, and then it will be able to store tanks. Actually, what you shouldn't do is to put land vehicles, like I think warning, yeah, because that is for sure gonna fuck up your Excel database and maybe crash your server. So don't use that. Okay, so for next, Xm8 App, copy over. Yeah, since we already did this in the last video, but I can just explain. So what it wants us to do is to install the Xm8 app, and that is done very simply by going into Xm8 apps. You just copy in Virtual Garage, which is already done, and here are all the different important files in there. And inside the config cpp, you need to add Exad Virtual Garage and the onload, unopen, unclose, so it knows where to load the specific files. And that's everything there. And then we go to the server. The server is very easy. Just want us to copy over the server files for Exad Virtual Garage, which is this one. We go into Exad server here, copy over, we pack it, done. And now for the tricky part, according to some people, or I'm just guessing people actually forgets this step. So database, run the following SQL command in your database. So what we do is that we just copy this. I'm not going to explain exactly what it does, but what it does is that it creates an extra column inside the vehicle table of let's see, of Exile, and it also creates a foreign key, or it binds that new column to a foreign key which is inside the territory ID. So if you actually delete the territory, it's also gonna delete the vehicles that are connected to it. So we go into the Exile database. Depending on what's different tool you're using to access your database, it's very different. But here in PHP admin, you just go into that database you want to change. You go into SQL, and we enter the command we want to run, and we just double check. Okay, it's for vehicles, yes, and we do run, and hopefully there will be no errors. Yes, 2 rows. Then we can double check this by going into the vehicle table. We can check the structure and check the structure. Come on, okay. And we're going to see that there is a territory ID. It has a foreign key. We can check the foreign key in the relations view. And yes, here is a territory ID is connected to territory ID. Okay, perfect. So that's everything there. And for a small thing that people are also, for some reason, forgetting, is copy over the content from Exad server ext, the Exad ini, which is instructions for extb on how or requests from the server is gonna handle some, how it's gonna handle some requests. And this is also pretty simple. I think I have just made it very okay. So here, it's also in instructions here as well. So first, find the following sections and replace the commented line. So can I open this in a new one here? Okay, so let's go. I couldn't do that. Let's see here. Okay, so let's go here, let's go here, let's go here, let's go here. Okay, so this is on the server. We just first want to find this one, so we go here, we just search for it. Okay, and here it is. It's very straightforward. We can just double check. This is what it's looking for. Oh yeah, sorry, this is the old one, but this is according to the new one. So we just take this not commented text, or we can take the whole thing if we want to, doesn't matter. I'm just going to take this specific row that we're changing, and I'm going to do, just because I don't like to throw away things, I'm just going to comment out the old one, and you do that by semicolon, and you add a new one. And what this does is that it tells the we just changed the query, so we wanted to include the territory, checking if the territory ID is null. And that's everything first, and then we go to remove vehicles that were not used within days. Okay, this is some extra things that we have added just because since potato was released. So we take the not commented one, and we just comment this one, and we put this one in instead. Just double check that everything is looking good, and it's just, we're telling it to check territory IDs null as well. Okay, so we have done these ones. Oh, did we do this one? Oh, I'm confused. Yes, we did that one. Did we do this one? Wow, I'm getting signing. Okay, so if we done all of these, we just takes all this, add all below in the end of the file. Doesn't need to be in the end of file, it doesn't actually matter, but yeah, I'm putting it in the end of file. And that's everything. I can take away this. It's confusing. And now we go back to the documentation again, and we have done all the things. So that's how you install the virtual garage. Peace.